Alaikum. So the topic today that we are going to discuss today is the pathophysiology of inheritance. First of all, the important thing that we need to learn from this topic is we expect our students to be able to describe the normal karyotype and there's different types of chromosomal abnormalities. At least you should know the names and you should have a broader idea of what they are. At least numerical abnormalities and abnormalities related to the chromosome structure. So starting with the topic, first of all, what is normal karyotype? Basically, we'll be discussing in this the pathophysiology of inheritance. To move towards that, we should first understand what is the normal karyotype for the fourth year. It is very basic. The human somatic cells, they contain 46 chromosomes. All of us know there is nothing new in this, that there are 22 homologous pairs of autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. Okay, X होते हैं female में and XY in the male. So basically, the normal karyotype is 46XX or 46XY. Okay. Now, coming to the chromosomal disorders, what do we understand by the term the chromosomal disorders? Okay, first of all, we have now a clear idea that what is a normal karyotype. It is 46XX, 46XY. If there is any alteration in this normal number of chromosomes, that is abnormal number of chromosomes, that can be a chromosomal disorder, or alteration in the structure of one or more chromosomes. Either the number of chromosomes is defective, there is extra chromosome, or there is one chromosome which is lacking, or there is alteration in the structure of one or more chromosomes. So we use a term which is euploid. What does this term mean? Any exact multiple of the haploid number of chromosomes is called euploid. That means what I have told you in the normal karyotype is that it is 46XX. So 46 is basically the number of chromosomes. Basically there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. So जो singular होगा उसका 23 का जो multiple होगा that is euploid. 23 chromosome अलग-अलग हैं तो that is haploid, and any exact multiple of that haploid number is euploid. Any exact multiple. Okay. Exact multiple can be diploid, exact multiple can be diploid, exact multiple can be tetraploid. Okay. So normally the chromosomes are diploid. Normally 2n होता है. Okay, exact multiple होता है haploid का 2n. If this is 3n, this is 4n, this is triploid and the tetraploid. Okay. Then aneuploidy क्या होती है? Aneuploidy means if an error occurs in the meiosis or mitosis and a cell acquires a chromosome complement that is not an exact multiple of 23, यानी कि 2n नहीं है, 3n नहीं है, बल्कि एक extra chromosome है, that is not exact multiple, so it's like plus करके indicated होगा, so that is aneuploidy. And causes for aneuploidy are the non-disjunction and anaphase lag. Okay. Now, what is non-disjunction and what is anaphase lag? Check. Okay, so if you don't understand anything, you can ask in the chat box. If an error occurs in the meiosis or mitosis, I've explained, it can result in non-disjunction or anaphase lag. So what is non-disjunction and what is anaphase lag? This is a picture that is explaining you the non-disjunction. When non-disjunction occurs during gametogenesis, the gametes formed have either an extra chromosome or one less chromosome. Look carefully at this picture. That what happened during meiosis. Firstly, the homologous chromosomes, they are arranged, and there is an exchange of genetic material between them that is called crossing over. Okay. After this crossing over, these homologous chromosomes would move in different cells. Okay. Then this is normal meiosis 1. Normal meiosis 1, in this the homologous chromosome will move in different cells, in different nucleus. Like this blue one is moving here and the red one is moving here. Okay. Then what happened in meiosis 2? That this gamete, or like look at this picture, which is red one, these sister chromatids will move in different cells. These sister chromatids will move in different cells. So here you can see this is very normal procedure. Here the crossing over, then the gametes move in different nucleus, and then the sister chromatids move in normal meiosis 2. So the number of chromosomes is retained, is preserved. Meiosis 1 में क्या होता है? Number of chromosomes gets half. Okay, and this cell is having blue chromosome with sister chromatids, and this cell is having red chromosome. But what happened in normal meiosis 2? Now the chromosome number will remain same. Okay, but look at this blue one. That what happened here? The non-disjunction, when the chromatids were supposed to be separated, they are not getting separated. So one nucleus is having two sister chromatids, and one nucleus is empty. So normally the human gamete or the germ cells are normally haploid. Gametes are haploid. So what happens when the gametes will fertilize with, for example, male gamete would fertilize with female gamete, so it would result in a zygote that would be diploid. Okay. So here you can see that non-disjunction occur, and this is an empty gamete, and this is the gamete with two chromosomes. So imagine that this gamete is fusing or getting fertilized with this sort of gamete. So what would happen? This is having one extra chromosome. And if this gamete is getting united or getting fertilized with this sort of gamete, so this would result in a loss of chromosome. So it results in two types of zygotes: monosomy 2n-1, that is incompatible with life, and autosomal trisomies. Okay, here it would result in trisomy, it would result in monosomy. Okay, can the non-disjunction occur in meiosis 1 as well, as in both the homologous pair comes in one and none in the other? Yes, the non-disjunction can occur in meiosis 1 as well, but mostly it occurs in meiosis 2 when sister chromatids are supposed to be separated. अच्छा, वो that is a different thing कि जब meiosis में होता है कि जब आपका एक pair of sister chromatid मूव ही नहीं करता, that is anaphase lag हो सकता है उसमें. ठीक है, we are moving towards anaphase lag as well. This is anaphase lag. What happened in anaphase lag? Delayed movement during anaphase, where one homologous chromosome, देखिए homologous chromosomes were arranged, they were supposed to be separated, they were supposed to be moved towards a different nucleus. So what happened in anaphase lag? That the homologous chromosome fails to connect, the apparatus lags behind and is left out of the nucleus. Okay, this is anaphase lag. So this homologous chromosome which is lying here, it would be finally destroyed. So here you can see this is the normal cell and this is monosome. Okay, so meiosis 1 में जो हो जाता है वो अक्सर anaphase lag हो जाता है. Okay, this also results in monosome. Is it clear? Okay, now the structural abnormalities or the changes in the structure of the chromosome. The structure. अभी तक जो हमने non-disjunction and anaphase lag था, that would result in abnormal number of chromosomes. Hello. अच्छा मैं आती हूँ. Okay. What happened in structural abnormalities, that there is changes in the structure of the chromosome. Here not the whole chromosome will be moving or not the whole chromosome will be lacking, but there would be some structural defects in the chromosome. These are most common are the deletion and the translocation. What happened in deletion? There is a loss of portion of a chromosome. Then there are very types of the deletion, okay, which we are not going to discuss now. And the translocation. Again, the translocation has many types like balanced reciprocal translocation, Robertsonian translocation. But what happened in translocation? That segment of one chromosome is transferred to another. What happened in deletion? A whole portion chromosome is deleted. Or what happened in translocation? There one segment is transferred to another chromosome. अगर उसके दरमियान में ट्रांसलोकेशन हो गया कि one segment is moving to the other chromosome and other chromosome segment is moving to the previous one, that is balanced translocation. Very important translocation is from translocation 922, which occurs in CML. So basically, if I summarize what we have discussed up till now, that this chromosomal defects can be numerical defect or can be structural defect. Numerical defect that results in trisomies, monosomies. It's a numerical defect. Monosomy means one chromosome is lacking. And trisomy means there is one extra chromosome. That can be an autosome, that can be a sex chromosome. Okay? But what happened, the structural defects like deletion and translocation, a portion of chromosome is missing. So now the cytogenetic disorders involving autosomes, as I explained already, कि जो trisomies and monosomies हैं, उसमें अक्सर जो है वो that can involve autosomes, that can involve sex chromosome. So here we are discussing the cytogenic involving autosomes. Hello. Oh my God, तुम्हारा पढ़ जाता है। आप भी कुछ Trisomy 21 is Down syndrome, trisomy 18 Edward syndrome, trisomy 13 Tau syndrome. So kindly, as this is 4th year, I don't think there is anything hard to understand in this. Can you please reply me in the chat box? What does trisomy 21 means? Be quick to reply so I can move forward. What does trisomy 21 mean? If I say this is trisomy 21, what does it mean? No one is replying. Okay, then I have to 3 copies of chromosome 21. 3 number 21 chromosome in a person, or we can say 1 extra 21 chromosome. Okay, there is an extra chromosome at 21 locus. Yes, this is the most appropriate answer. 1 extra 21 chromosome. Trisomy 18, 1 extra 18 number chromosome. Trisomy 13 means 1 extra 13 number chromosome. Okay, so trisomy 21 is Down syndrome. The topic was to discuss the inheritance, pathophysiology of inheritance of Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, thalassemia, minor sickle cell anemia, and the cystic fibrosis. So here is the pathophysiology of Down syndrome, trisomy 21. It is trisomy 21. Okay, so it's the most common aneuploid compatible with life, 1 in 800 live births. 25% cases where this is trisomy 21, maternal egg contributes extra chromosome 21. 4% cases में this is Robertsonian translocation, and 1% cases में it is mosaic type. I will explain later what is mosaic. But 95% cases में maternal egg is contributing chromosome, extra chromosome 21. So you can see here, it can be. What does it mean? What does this statement mean? This is a male with Down syndrome. This is a female with Down syndrome. Okay, so these are the features that of Down syndrome, that there would be some mental retardation, there would be abundant practicing. These are the epicanthic folds and flat facial profiles, simian freeze, which is very important. Congenital heart defects are present. There is umbilical hernia, there is intestinal stenosis, and of course predisposition to leukemia, hypotonia, and gap between first and the second. These are the normal features of the Down syndrome. And as you can see here, maternal age effect on trisomy 21, that if the patient is conceiving after the age of 35, 38, so the chances of the Down syndrome are greatly increased. This is the cytogenetic report that you can see here, that all the chromosomes are paired, but this 20 at the 21 locus there is one extra chromosome, and this is a female with Down syndrome. Similarly, Edwards syndrome, this is trisomy 18, and these are the features of the Edwards syndrome. You can take a picture, you can get it from your book, and for pathology, you don't need to remember these features, but for clinical application or identifying the patient, you need to know these features, that there would be mental retardation, there is prominent excipient, there is micronathia, and overall the features like renal malformations, rocker bottom feet. So these are the features of the Edwards syndrome, and this patient would be having an extra 18 number chromosome. Similarly, trisomy 13, which is Down syndrome, again the risk increases with maternal age, and these are the features of the Down syndrome. Now coming to the cytogenetic disorders involving sex chromosomes. So what is Down syndrome? I would say that the Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, and the Tau syndrome, these are the cytogenetic disorders that involves autosomes. Now we are heading towards the cytogenetic disorders that involve sex chromosome, that is Klinefelter syndrome and the Turner syndrome. What happened in the journal features of these cytogenetic disorders that involve the sex chromosomes? We need to understand few things about this, that genetic diseases associated with sex chromosomes are more common than autosomal aberrations. Okay, sex chromosomal abnormalities are more common. Imbalances, excess, or loss of sex chromosomes are much better tolerated than imbalances of autosomes. Okay. Two factors that are peculiar to the sex chromosomes. First of all, the inactivation of one X chromosome and the little amount of genetic material carried by the Y chromosome. This is very important consideration when we are learning this topic of cytogenetic disorder involving the X chromosome, that is inactivation of the X chromosome, and secondly, the fact that little amount of genetic material is carried by the Y chromosome, because Y chromosome is the smallest chromosome. It has very little genetic information on it. So what is X inactivation? That only one of the X chromosome is genetically active. The other X of either the maternal or the paternal origin undergoes inactivation. That occurs at the random among all the cells of the blastocyst on all about day 5.5 of the embryonic life. Do I need to explain this process of lionization, or you understand it already? Because this was studied in your first year, I think. Lionization, it was very clearly mentioned and very clearly explained in the first year, that what is random inactivation of the X chromosome, what is the significance, why it is necessary, and how it balances. Okay. Okay, so you can see here that this these are the X chromosome. ये समझे blastocyst stage पे there would be, because I have already explained that little amount of genetic information is present on the Y chromosome. तो जो female होंगी इस तरीके से उनमें तो फिर जो है वो proteins का और the proteins that are present on the X chromosome तो वो तो हमें duplicated हो जाने चाहिए. So to balance that thing, there is a process which is lionization or the random inactivation of the X chromosome. Like you can see here, कि इस सेल में ये वाला क्रोमोसोम इनएक्टिव हो गया, इस सेल में ये वाला क्रोमोसोम इनएक्टिव, सो ओनली वन एक्स क्रोमोसोम रिमेन्स एक्टिव. यानी कि एक्स क्रोमोसोम इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू डिटरमिन द सेक्स, बट व्हाट हैपन दैट इज इनएक्टिवेशन ऑफ द एक्स क्रोमोसोम. कुछ सेल्स में मैटरनल एक्स क्रोमोसोम इनएक्टिवेट हो जाएगा, कुछ सेल्स में पैटर्नल एक्स क्रोमोसोम इनएक्टिवेट हो जाएगा. ओके, सो दिस इज टू बैलेंस आउट the characteristic with the male. and this would persist. For example, there was maternal X inactivated, so it would persist in the ऑफस्प्रिंग सेल्स. जितने भी सेल्स उससे जो है वो ड्राइव हो रहे होंगे उन सब में मैटरनल एक्स ही इनएक्टिवेटेड रहेगा और इसमें मैटरनल एक्स क्रोमोसोम ही इनएक्टिवेटेड रहेगा. तो दिस इज बेसिकली ऑल फीमेल्स आर मोज़ाइक. दिस इज मोज़ाइकिज्म, population of two different types of cell in one individual at the same time. So we can say all female are mosaic क्योंकि हमारे अंदर दो तरह के सेल होते हैं. हाफ पॉपुलेशन में मैटरनल एक्स क्रोमोसोम इनएक्टिवेटेड है, हाफ पॉपुलेशन में पैटर्नल एक्स क्रोमोसोम इनएक्टिवेटेड है. Yes, yes, there is dominant recessive relationship on X chromosome gene. Yes, that's why जो हीमोफीलिया है, for example, तो उसको जो है वो X drive dominant pattern, ठीक है. And there is X-linked recessive disorders हैं जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ फीमेल में ही जो है वो X-linked recessive disorder जो कि सिर्फ मेल में ही एग्जिबिट होंगे, ठीक है. Thus, the greater number of normal females are in reality mosaics and have two population of cell. I have explained this. Mosaicism which allows males and females to express equal quantity of proteins that are coded by genes on the X chromosome. Otherwise, female could have more of these proteins, a situation which in some settings could be incompatible with life. 15% genes escape X inactivation. Some genes that are expressed from both X chromosomes are important for normal growth and development. Okay, Y chromosome is both necessary and sufficient for male development. Y chromosome mostly जो information होती है वो that is related to the male characteristic, testicular development, spermatogenesis, इसी से related information होती है. Okay, in general, sex chromosome disorders cause chronic problems relating to the sexual development and fertility. Sex chromosome disorders are often difficult to diagnose at birth and many are formalized at the time of puberty. The greater the number of X chromosomes in both male and female, the greater the likelihood of maternal retardation. Okay, yeah, this is something which is affect, and you can take it like X chromosome is directly proportional to the mental retardation. The more number of X chromosome a person is having, there would be greater the likelihood of mental retardation. Okay, coming to the Klinefelter syndrome, as I mentioned earlier, the genetic disorders, cytogenetic disorders that are involving the sex chromosomes are Klinefelter syndrome and Turner syndrome. So what is Klinefelter syndrome? There are two or more X chromosomes with one Y chromosome. अच्छा, अब ये Y chromosome है तो ये male तो हो गया, sex determine हो गई. If Y chromosome is there, this is a male. But क्योंकि X chromosome extra है, so this male would be exhibiting some, some features of female, or there would be mental retardation. अब अगर ये triple XY हो जाता है तो mental retardation और हो जाएगी. Abnormally long bones, small atrophic testis, lack of secondary male characteristic as deep voice, beard, and male distribution of pubic hair. Gynecomastia may be present. Now coming to the Turner syndrome, which is monosomy. ठीक है, अब ये है 45XO. तो Y chromosome is lacking, that's why they are phenotypically female. ठीक है. Defective second X chromosome. इनकी ये फीचर्स होते हैं कि वेब नेक, ब्रॉड चेस्ट, शॉर्ट स्टेचर, पॉपुलेशन ऑफ एओर्टा, स्ट्रीक ओवरीज, इनफर्टिलिटी, पेरिफेरल लिम्फेडिमा एट बर्थ, क्योंकि इनमें एक्स क्रोमोसोम भी तो लैकिंग है ना. अच्छा, अभी जो हम पढ़ रहे थे, these were the cytogenetic disorders. Cytogenetic disorders are those कि जिसमें there is abnormal number of chromosome or abnormal structure of chromosome. Okay. Abnormal number of chromosome was more important in all these. Okay, so abnormal number of chromosomes से related थे. For example, Down syndrome था वो trisomy 21 और Edwards syndrome था, Tau syndrome था. These were the trisomies that were involving the autosomes. Then we studied the trisomies or the cytogenetic abnormalities that are involving the X chromosome. But जो structural defects होते हैं like deletion है, तो the gene which is deleted, that is more important. Okay, then we have a pattern of inheritance, which is autosomal recessive disorders, autosomal dominant disorders, point mutations related and deletions related. They occur when both alleles at a given gene locus are mutated. If there is a tetrasomy like XXY, then one X will undergo lionization or two. Randomly lionization में तो one X chromosome जो है वो that gets inactivated. लेकिन टेट्रासोमीज तो ये तो टेट्रासोमीज तो जो है वो इनकॉम्पेटिबल विद लाइफ होती है. सोमीज तो जो है वो स्पीशी डिफरेंट हो जाएगा. तो हर टेट्रासोमी मतलब टेट्रासोमी like XXY. Excuse me, I'm not getting your question. First of all, explain me what you are getting from tetrasomy. Trisomy था और monosomy था. Tetrasomy कैसे होगा? Tetraploidy था. I'm not getting your question. You can ask and mail. Make it clear. Okay. So they occur when both alleles at a given gene locus are mutated. Autosomal, we are talking about autosomal recessive disorders. They will be exhibiting their effects when both the alleles at a given gene locus are mutated. We can say when both the genes are mutated. So there is जो characteristics है autosomal disorders के वो uniform expression है, complete penetrance है, onset usually early in life and a carrier state. These all features were explained. This topic is discussed in detail at first year. That what are autosomal recessive disorders, what are autosomal dominant disorders, and what in autosomal recessive disorders, they exhibit only when both the alleles at a given stage. Autosomal dominant, one allele is mutated and the patient would be exhibiting the effects in the heterozygous state. This is the characteristic of autosomal dominant disorder. So in autosomal recessive disorder, there is uniform expression. There is complete penetrance. There is onset usually early in life and carrier state exists. क्योंकि अगर जो है as I mentioned that both ये सिर्फ तब exhibit करता है when both the alleles are mutated. तो अगर सिर्फ एक allele mutated है और एक allele normal है तो it would not be exhibiting its pattern, its characteristic or the disease characteristic. तो वो state कौन सी होगी? Carrier state. बहुत ही आसान है इसको understand करना with the thalassemia, example of the thalassemia कि if one gene is mutated and the other gene is normal तो क्या होती है थैलेसीमिया की? थैलेसीमिया की कैरियर स्टेट होती है. ठीक है, अगर दोनों जीन्स म्यूटेटेड होती हैं तो थैलेसीमिया एक्सप्रेस होता है. ठीक है. Then sickle cell anemia, same happen with the sickle cell anemia, same happen with the cystic fibrosis, that these are the autosomal recessive disorder. What happened in the autosomal dominant disorder? That there is variable expression, reduced penetrance. इसकी example में हमने hypercholesterolemia बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ा है in the first year. That what happened in the hypercholesterolemia, that for example if a patient with the family history that they have hypercholesterolemia, so not everyone with that gene mutation or with that gene problem would be expressing equal levels of equal degree of hyperlipidemia or equal level of hyper. Degree would be variable depending on mental, depending on lifestyle. Similarly, hereditary spherocytosis, again the variability can be different. There is variable expression, there is reduced penetrance, there is variable onset, and there is no carrier state. If you have a gene mutated, you are going to express the features of that disease. There would be no carrier state. Okay. Now, what is penetrance? All individuals who inherit the disease gene does not develop the disorder. Okay. And variable expressivity, penetrance is a different term, expressivity is a different term. Penetrance means all individuals who inherit the disease gene does not develop the disorder. While the expressivity is that the variability of severity of disorder among individuals. Okay. Now reporting the karyotype. So the what is the inheritance type of thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, and the cystic fibrosis is autosomal recessive disorder, while hereditary spherocytosis and familial dominant disorder. Reporting of karyotype is not that simple. You report them on the bending pattern. First of all, the bands are identified, and then the chromosomes are arranged, and number of chromosomes are followed by the number of sex chromosome. For example, 46XX is a normal female, 46XXY, XXY. This is Y आ गया ना तो ये male है, and this is one extra X chromosome. This is male with Klinefelter syndrome. This is triple X, female with triple X. Additional or loss of chromosome indicated by plus or minus 1. For example, 46XY plus 21. This is male with Down syndrome. This is a female with additional unidentified material on short arm of chromosome 12. The short arm P hota hai, long arm is Q. Okay, so this was all about the pathophysiology of inheritance. While the जो point mutations हैं, जो autosomal recessive disorders की जो further details हैं, that are given in your book in the chapter of genetics. Autosomal dominant disorder, autosomal recessive disorder, what type of deletion occurs, what type of inactivation occurs. Okay. Okay, you were talking about a situation of female with triple X. Okay, now it's clear. So again, one X chromosome will be inactivated. Any other question? Okay. Okay, then thank you so much for attending the lecture. Allah Hafiz.
जी डॉक्टर हिना फिनिश कर दें?
जी जी.